The abomination, which is the president of the United States, Kankles McTaco Tits, who now we're calling Kanks, is an utter embarrassment. But here's the thing, he's listening to the press, and the press, because all observers globally know that he bent the knee to Putin and are asking, what does Putin have on him? So this report surprised me zero. The New Republic report. Trump freaks out over reports he massively fumbled the Putin meeting. No shit. Like, you had a murderous dictator, a war criminal, someone who started a war with Ukraine onto American soil, which he should have been arrested, and in any other country other than China or North Korea or Hungary, he would have been arrested because he is a war criminal. He has kidnapped 1.6 million Ukrainian children, and you rolled out the red carpet. You have not put on one sanction. You got zero of the concessions that you kept talking about that you would get because you're a big deal maker. You're not a big deal maker. You've bankrupted casinos. Nobody can make a deal if they can bankrupt casinos. So then, this is what is also being reported. First Squawk says, Putin praises Trump's leadership, says Russia in talks with the U.S. on mineral extraction in Arctic and Alaska. So I'm sorry, let me get this straight. Donald Trump is going to allow Vladimir Putin, the murderous dictator, to mine U.S. minerals in Alaska? Are you kidding me? He is so beholden to Putin. The question we should be asking every single day, what does Putin have on Trump? Of course, he praises his leadership because he knows he is completely easy to manipulate. He's a useful idiot. But there are reports that Putin, as a KGB agent, has shit on Trump. You're telling me that, oh no, everything's on the up and up when he is going to give U.S. minerals to Russia, but he has imposed zero sanctions against Russia for the war in Ukraine. He says, oh, I called Putin and we talk all the time, and we're going to have a trilateral meeting. Then you hear reports out of Russia that says no such meeting is on the books. There is no such meeting between Trump, Zelensky, and Putin. That is all puffery. And you know why else Putin praises Trump? Because then humiliates him on his state-run TV. Putin has several channels. Donald Trump just has Fox News to spread propaganda. On those same channels, he puts nude pictures of Melania. Now, come on, is that respect? Are you worried about it, Putin? Fuck no. He knows he's weak, and it's obvious he's sick. Everybody knows he's sick. He can't even hide that anymore. But one person that thought he was the heir apparent to the MAGA movement, who went in after Disney because he's a big, strong guy. He's so masculine, even though he wears heels. He said this, and I'm like, is everybody at Fox News just stupid? Play the clip.
Map. Florida has been growing. It's been growing a lot since I've been governor, but even before that, it was adding population, not at the same rate. And we got shortchanged in the last census. We should have had 2 or 3 seats. We only got 1 seat, and that was really the Biden administration's doing. So we are working with the Attorney General in Florida, James Uthmeyer.
Okay, enough. I want to remind everybody when the last census was, where he got 1 seat and thinks Florida deserved more seats. It was 2020. Show of hands, who knows who was president of the United States in 2020? Oh, no. It wasn't Biden. It was Trump. And so my question to Fox viewers is, they allow all of these MAGA politicians to tank the economy, to ban books, to be the thought police. And then they want to blame it on Biden. At what point are you going to say, really, Ron? The last census was in 2020. Trump was president, not Biden. Is anybody going to just take that over the finish line and just think, oh, we got shortchanged out of the last census? Who was president during the last census? Oh, Trump. Nobody puts that together. Nobody puts that together. And then we hear about Trump. He's raiding John Bolton's house without a warrant. He's his former national security advisor. And then the Daily Beast reports, Trump biographer says the FBI raid on John Bolton is yet another stunt designed to pull MAGA's attention away from Epstein. And what I have to say about that is a shock to no one. You hear Trump is going after Pritzker. He's talking about Beverly Hills people leave their garages open because it's just easier on the garage door for people to steal stuff. He's militarizing U.S. cities. The reason he's doing all that, obviously, is to impede the midterms. But a side benefit of that is that we're not talking about the Epstein files. And what also should be above the fold is the DOJ, led by Pam Bondi and Trump's personal lawyer, Todd Blanche, were able to release the full transcript of Ghislaine Maxwell saying she knew nothing. She had no idea that anybody was doing anything naughty with Jeffrey, and that there were several members of Trump's cabinet that were friends with him, but she didn't know anything naughty was going on. You're in fucking prison for 20 years, bitch. Like, nobody believes you. Nobody's talked to the victim. And the DOJ has not responded to the Congressional Oversight Committee's subpoena for the Epstein files. So my question is, why do you think that is, MAGA? Why do you think that Trump's DOJ is not releasing files, but they're releasing things, the transcript of Ghislaine Maxwell? They've sent her to a country club prison. Why do you think they're not releasing the files? Why? Because Trump is in it up to his eyeballs. And other reports I'm seeing is maybe Melania is in it up to her eyeballs. And then one other thing, this really irritates me. Trump always is the first to say somebody's ugly, somebody's fat. And he does this. I guess there's no mirror at his house. I guess he looks down and he says, oh, my waist size is 30, because he also thinks that he's 6'3" and 215 pounds, when really we know he's 5'10" at 285. But so Chris Christie got on TV and he hurt Trump's feelings. And the fuck your feelings president, he got his little feelings hurt. So he went to Lie Social, and this was his post. And I'm going to take it. We're going to go through it. I just watched sloppy Chris Christie be interviewed on a ratings challenged news show this week with George Slopadopoulous. Okay, so far we've made 2 slurs about people on our Live Social post. On ABC, fake news. By the way, what the hell happened to Jonathan Karl's hair? Trump, really? You're going to go after some other man's hair? I just think those who live in glass houses should not throw stones. And then he says, he looks absolutely terrible. It's amazing what bad ratings on a failed television show that was forced to pay me $16 million can do to one's appearance. And I have to point this out. They didn't have to pay him $16 million. ABC News did it to bend the knee. And you know why they did it? Because George Stephanopoulos said on the air that Trump had been convicted civilly of rape. And in New York, it's considered sexual abuse. But the judge wrote an opinion and said the New York definition is equivalent to rape in every other jurisdiction. But ABC News bent the knee to Trump because they are short-sighted and they thought it was expeditious. And now he's saying how he wants to pull their rating, because you cannot fix somebody that is so broken that they're running around making fun of other people's hair when they have that bird's nest on their head. Then it says, can anyone believe anything that Chris Christie or Sloppy Chris says? Donald Trump is going to call out liars? Are you fucking kidding? The lie-o-meter is broken from this man. Do you remember the way he lied about the dangerous and deadly closure of the George Washington Bridge in order to stay out of prison, at the same time sacrificing people who worked for him, including a young mother who spent years trying to fight off the vicious charges against her? Here's the thing. Donald Trump no more gives a shit about a young mother that worked for Chris Christie than I am going to be Miss Universe. This is a man that doesn't pay his contractors, that he sues people rather than pay them if they have a small business because he can litigate them to death. Okay, I'm going to finish. Sorry, I just get so worked up. And then it says, Chris refuses to take responsibility for these criminal acts. Donald Trump is a convicted felon. He has never taken accountability for anything his entire life, and I mean entire life, in childhood. For the sake of justice, Trump should not be allowed to say the word justice. He should have his mouth washed out with soap because he doesn't know what it is unless he is trying to put fake justice on somebody else. Perhaps we should all start looking at the very serious situation again. No one is above the law except you, motherfucker. You seem to be above the law. The Supreme Court said you were above the law, and you continue to violate the law every day. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President DJT. It's just gross. This is a threat to Chris Christie and every other person that would get on TV and hurt Donald Trump's feeling by actually talking about facts and living in reality. Now he wants to start sicking the DOJ on him. That's a misnomer. He's already started sicking the DOJ on people because he doesn't like them and they hurt his feelings. But here we are again, talking about how pathetic he is, how crazy he is, and where is the accountability for Donald Trump? Don't say justice unless Donald Trump faces justice for all of the crimes that he is committing against America every day. It incenses me. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with more news.